So, unless you've been living under a rock, you will probably know that right now we are going through the recession. And during times like this, it's very easy for business owners or online business owners to get scared and worry about the future sales of the business. They think that because we're going into a recession, that people aren't going to buy from them anymore, and they start worrying about where the next customer, clients, or sales is going to come from. But in fact, the recession can actually be an incredible opportunity for you to grow your business as long as you approach it in the right way. And you can actually leverage the recession to make more money in the future. And that's why a lot of the time in a recession especially, it is the perfect time to actually sell coaching and courses, because as long as you fit the messaging to the needs of the market, you can still make a lot of money. So let me quickly explain. So obviously during a recession, there are a lot of worries and pains that people are feeling right now, worrying about the future, money, being able to pay bills, or people just generally feeling down, depressed, full of anxiety. And all of these problems need a solution. So you, as the online course creator or coach, you can tailor your product or your service or your messaging to actually become the solution for all of those problems. Now, here's the thing, you do have to tailor it, because you can't just use the same messaging that you would have used in your ads and your funnels a few years ago. Now it's not going to work. You need to be more strategic, and you need to tailor it to what's currently happening in the market. So for you online coaches, especially if you are teaching people how to make money, grow a business, become happier, become more fulfilled, find their purpose, all of these things, if you're a coach in any of those areas, then the recession is actually a beautiful time for you to make a lot of money in your business. But if you get the messaging wrong, it could ruin your business. So let me give you an example. Earlier this year, at the start of 2023, we had a big launch for one of our clients at the agency. And they were selling basically a coaching program teaching beginners how to build a business. And it was, hey, we can help you build a business based around your purpose, so you can, go full time with your business, doing what you love. A lot of the messaging was based around freedom, prosperity, making money, going full time, quitting the 9 to 5, traveling the world, affording all of these luxuries, etc., etc. So that was the messaging, and we launched it at the start of this year, and it didn't do as well as we thought it did. I mean, bear in mind, we still did over $300,000 in about 9 days. So obviously those numbers are pretty big. However, the year before, we did over $650,000 in Feb 2022. And we did over $650,000 in about 13 days for the client. And the differences between the two launches in Feb 2022 and Feb 2023 wasn't that great. They were pretty much the same offer. It was packaged in the same way, it was delivered in the same way, it was sold in the same way, and the messaging was the same. But that was the issue. The messaging was the same in 2023 as it was in 2022. And this caused a big problem, because obviously in 2023, one of the main news stories and narratives right now is that we are going into a recession. So the reason why it didn't perform as well as the year before is because we didn't tailor the messaging effectively for the market and for the recession. So again, our messaging was very much, hey, build a business, quit your 9 to 5, go full time doing what you love, and live an amazing life, right? Now, in 2022, right after basically we'd come out of being locked away for 2 years, the idea of traveling the world, having all of this freedom, visiting all these different countries, being your own boss, not being stuck inside, that was desirable for a majority of the market. So that's one of the reasons why it sold so well in Feb 2022, is because it was perfect messaging for what the world or what the market was going through at that moment. However, fast forward 12 months into Feb 2023, and the narrative isn't, hey, we're free, the narrative is, oh, gas prices have gone up, inflation, we're going into a recession. So people are actually scared. They're worried about their bills. So people aren't really thinking about, hey, I just want to go and travel the world, or I want to quit my job. The last thing that a lot of people want to do is quit their job because they are worried about being able to pay their bills. So the biggest mistake that we made was not tailoring the messaging of the launch in Feb 2023 to the recession. Instead of being like fully freedom-based, hey, go and travel the world, what it should have been was, hey, build a business on the side, supplement your income so now you can actually afford the bills and the inflation. Or hey, build a business on the side, earn an extra 2 to 3K a month, protect yourself from the upcoming recession. Or it could have been, hey, look at all of these job layoffs that are happening in the corporate world. You want to protect yourself, take control of your life, take control of your income, build a business yourself and become your own boss. See, we're still offering the same outcome, which was to build a business and earn more money, but we delivered it in a different way with a different message. And I believe if we had done that messaging earlier this year, when we did the launch, we would have made a lot more than $300,000 in just 9 days. So that's the key lesson. When the economy is up, or when the narrative is up, what you want to do is create your messaging around opportunity and prosperity. But when the economy is down, when it's in a recession, you need to tailor your message to be about protection, survival, or potentially thriving during uncertain times. I believe Grant Cardone and Tony Robbins have done this recently. I think Tony Robbins did a challenge at the start of the year. I believe it was called the Unshakable Challenge. I think Grant Cardone has just finished a challenge, and his challenge was called the Unbreakable Business Challenge. And you see those two words describing what they're selling, unshakable and unbreakable. It is more about protection as it is about opportunity and earning more money. See, Grant Cardone's messaging has, for the most part, been 10x your income, etc., etc. But if he would have launched a 10x challenge at the start of this year, it wouldn't have sold as well as promoting a unbreakable business challenge. So these guys are obviously very smart. They know what they're doing. So they have tailored their messaging for the current market and the current recession. Now, another important point as well is to don't just ignore the recession in your messaging. What some people think is best to do is just to ignore it altogether. Don't mention it in your funnels, don't mention it in your marketing, and just hoping that if you don't talk about the recession, then they're not going to actually come up with that objection in your head. And you think that if you are going to mention the recession in your marketing, then they're going to be like, oh yeah, there is a recession on, I'm therefore not going to buy from you. But it couldn't be further from the truth. And what you want to do is make sure that you position your offer in a way that is a solution to the pains and frustrations that is caused by the upcoming recession. So again, don't ignore it, leverage it in your marketing to make a ton of money in 2023.